People, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in each and every time. Good morning. This how you know I've been working very hard. People, man, said good morning. I should be saying good afternoon. That's how you know it's muscle memory when it comes to live streaming at 11:30 or so with you guys, people. So yeah, man. Good evening. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on if you're in another time zone and things like that. I hope you're all well and safe, people, and welcome back with myself, Deluded. Please make sure you hit the like button. I must admit, you lot gas me, man. When I see you lot, before I've even gone live, talking in the live chat and just, I don't know what you lot are speaking about, but just getting the engagement levels going, it gasses me, people. So please, big up you lot for it. Big up each and every one of yourselves for that. Please make sure you hit the like button. 23 likes already. There's 26 odd of you in here. We're off to a good start, but we start as we mean to go on. How are you guys all doing? Please let me know. I hope you're all well and safe. In relation to me, myself, I'm calm, man. I've been putting in a real shift trying to get better at Photoshop, and judging by the thumbnail or just those of you that are here, I guess I have got a little bit better. I've got a video. Obviously, it's Arsenal versus Benfica. We're going to touch on that game, of course, and you know I've got you, people, and we've got the preview to come out. I've got a surprise for you lot, and because there's 38 of you locked in, please make sure. Obviously, I've got a live watch along later today as well for the Champions League game. PSG versus Barcelona was a madness. Hopefully Porto and Juventus can be the same. But in relation to Arsenal versus Benfica, who better yet to ask in relation to Benfica than Adrian from Rabona TV? So later today, you'll see a video uploaded on my channel doing exactly that. So yeah, man, if you know, I can't imagine you don't know about Rabona TV, you know, Deluded and Rabona TV, it's going to be lit. So make sure you're paying you're concentrating and you're making sure you're looking for when my videos upload and them things there. So I hope you're all doing well and safe, man. We'll get into the Benfica game like I said. Obviously, judging by the title, you've seen a lot of transfer news in relation to Balogun and Arteta and the rest of it. We're going to get in, but I love you guys. Big up the Twitch gang. Let me see what you guys are saying. Brad is saying this is going to be a good one. These are the comments that gas me, man. Courtney Raymond, wavy name, one of the best names ever, man. Secret, that's my name as well as CJ, depending on if I know you. But you said, big up DG, always spoiling us with content in this difficult time. You lot are spoiling me with consistent commitment in this troubled time. You know, there would be no point sitting here and talking about football and Arsenal and the rest of it if you lot didn't like what I had to say or just like me being here. So it's lovely to see that I'm providing some sort of value. Timmy, I'm not too sure. You know, Henry the player was an amazing footballer. I'm not too sure Thierry Henry the manager is going to get us anywhere in relation to football, man. So let's see what's going on. What's River saying? Big up yourself. You're always locked in. Only one more sleep till we watch Arsenal. Looking forward to the watch along tonight, DG. I hope the summer business is done in advance to allow us to get on with a full and proper pre-season. Amen. Can't add anything onto that, River. You're fully right. You know, the quicker you do the business, the quicker they can integrate, in theory, with Arteta and the boys, the quicker they should adapt, the quicker they should hit the ground running, the quicker we should see a return of investment on whatever players we're buying for whatever sort of thing. Theo, I hope you're good. Augustine, I see you. EJ, what's up, man? You know, stylish. Love that he's always on to you lot, you know, large up everybody locked in. I'm pretty sure if I scroll down, there's a comment where he's telling you lot to hit the like button, so do exactly that. Giovanni is saying, morning DG, let's get cracking with the football content. Hit the like button up. Like he said, hit the like button up. I hope you're all good. You lot are gassing me, man. Christian has said, Chronicles of a Gooner brought me here. Let's hang a big number on Benfica tomorrow. Trust me, my guy. Christian, hopefully we can, you know, kill that game in the first leg. You know, depending on what happens, that might mean we can play a stronger team against City beyond the obvious. But big up Harry and the rest of the Chronicles of a Gooner team. I really appreciate people of that regards, man. So yeah, somebody said, remember I told you about Ivan Toney? I watched him myself, but fair play, you know, he's having a cracking season, to be fair with you, and he'll probably get that Premier League move. Danny, I see you. Claudius, I see you. Sakib, apologies, I see you locked in as well. Augustine, you said school is killing me, but I have to do what I have to do. Stay in school, get them grades, man. You know, better grades. In theory, you should be getting, you know, better jobs and things like that. So do your thing. Man said road to 40k. You know, we're trying. Peter saying a rare notification appeared. Everybody hit the like button. Big up all the JA tugs locked in as well. I see you as well. Moses, people, deluded. But yeah, enough of the niceties now, people. Big up everybody locked in. Mizzy, I see you. Sandro, hopefully, man, hopefully we keep working until I see 40k. I somewhat think it's not believable, sort of thing. But we keep going, we keep progressing, enough niceties. Let's get into the actual business now. Like Stylish is saying, though, 100 man in 5 minutes. Proper stuff, lads. Rise the like button, like he said. Hit up the like button. But let's get into the business of this. Now, if we're real with ourselves, it's the same old recycled stuff that we're hearing, in relation to the transfer news. I mean, how many times can you polish a turd and tell us that Arsenal are doing a big clear out, that we're doing this, that we're doing that? I mean, I like you lot. I'm going to lap it up each and every time. Let's be real. I'm going to love to hear that, people. We need a clear out, on the base of it. I'm being careful of saying the words hope and expectation with Arsenal, but obviously, not to go over all of them. You've seen players moved on. There's still a lot of question marks over players' futures, because a lot of players are on loan and in limbo. But in general, we've paid up some contracts. We've kind of cleared the books, and you're hoping that next season or going into next season, you'd expect us to, get rid of these players, bring in players into the club that can help us, for one, and also so that's an expectation. And you've got hope. Hope and expectation are two things I just said I don't like to put in the same sentence with Arsenal, because I hope that's what we do. I expect that's what a normal club should do, but I don't know what we're going to do, because as you lot know, not to put a downer on things, but the key thing is reinvesting, and the key thing is, Arsenal as well. I don't know how to make it make sense, but we'll not to dig out David Luiz, pause, but to use him as an example, we'll get rid of these past it players, and then you'll confirm David Luiz into a new deal. You've still got Williams, so you've done two bits of good work, and then you've done three things that have regressed. So we're just, like Turkish says, big up Turkish, we're just on the roundabout sort of thing, really and truly. For me, I hope we've learned from hindsight in relation to giving big contracts to players, mismanagement of finances, because that's what it was. You had big money contracts like Ozil, you had mismanagement of finances like Socrates, where he weren't a bad signing, but he wasn't levels, and you get what you pay for, sort of thing. So we've had mismanagement with our loan signings, our big money signings, our cheap signings, giving out new contracts. I would have loved to have, learned from that. But you need to learn from hindsight and apply foresight. You got rid of Ozil. Who is going to be the creative man? Is it going to be a traditional number 10? Are you trying to get Odegaard permanently, or Odegaard staying for 4 or 5 months while you assess the next target to come in? Because Odegaard, cool, he comes here, does his thing, he gets to go back to, obviously we keep him, we love to keep him, but he goes back to Real Madrid. He's helped us get whatever we need to do, and then we bring in a next man to go with there. Now, if that's the case, if you can keep Odegaard for another season or permanently, and with the emergence of Smith Rowe, I can't lie, I don't think we need a 10 like that. I think we need the modern day sort of 8 now. And I think we can, dare I say, kind of cast in our net, because without Smith Rowe and Odegaard's emergent, I want a number 8 who can pass the football, but I think we can go for a bit of a tenacious, a bit of a box-to-box sort of thing. And on theory, as good as Odegaard is, he's not our player. Ceballos, he's not our player. There's a lot of question marks over central midfield, in particular at this football club, people. Even if you look at it, Partey is the only one you could say confirm is staying, really and truly. Xhaka at a push as well, but Partey's never fit based on this season, so there's a lot of question marks. How can we really improve as a football club without a certified midfield partnership and some real depth and quality, so that when Partey is missing, you've got someone that can step in? And the rest of it, people, this is the sort of thing we need to advance to. So it's all fun and games getting rid of these players, but I need to see plan A, plan B, plan C targets. We're not Real Madrid, we're not Barcelona, we're not always going to get our first choice target. So you need to be able to say, all right, cool, you can't get Aouar, you can't get a Szoboszlai. Can you get my man from the second division in France who's levels? Because before these players break out, you have to get them somehow, A random one, I would like us to have a look at Isaac of Sociedad. I'm really buying the hype. He's found his feet after Borussia Dortmund, done his thing in Holland prior as well, but that's not really competent. So I hope it is, people. There's still a lot of question marks, because we don't know what competition, if any European competition, we're going to be in. We have we're still reacting to COVID. Again, you've got Arteta and Edu who are still learning the job. So, and there's a bunch of things. So I don't know if we're going to be that proactive and stuff, but we need to, people. Last season, Last summer we tried to do everything and probably didn't do anything really and truly. But you get the point. So if I share my screen with you, let's go on and talk about the first sort of report we're seeing, people. You're right, the 10 kit is available, man. You know, the 10 might be free, the number 9 might be free, you know, 11 might be free if Odegaard don't stay. Hella numbers, man. What numbers David Luiz in the ideal world should be freeing up that one as well. There's bare things that could be done. Let me share my screen with you guys really quickly and let's go over this. Now, Football London are reporting Mikel Arteta's Folarin Balogun stance hints at Arsenal exit for Eddie Nketiah. Now, I'm not going to go over the same thing again and again and again, but there's many different possibilities. In an ideal world, I would love Eddie, and obviously I know they've got the same agent, so there's conflict of interest, but I would like to see Balogun and Eddie sign new deals. You know, Eddie's still young as a striker. I don't understand how people write him off and draw him out. Do I think Eddie Nketiah is going to quite be Arsenal quality number 9? Of course not. You have to, you know, on one hand, I hope to be proven wrong, and he can be that, but I don't think he's got the minerals. I haven't really seen his goal scoring from youth level translated at any capacity into the men's full game. I see little patches of brilliance, not really any consistency. I see improvement in terms of hold-up play and general play, but I just don't think his levels. But saying that, he's still 21 years of age. He could very well develop. And for me, for Arsenal Football Club, at a time where allegedly we have to watch our pennies and pounds, our academy should be making cash for us. Let's say, cool, Eddie goes on to be a better player and shows he can be a squad player or whatever for the team in some capacity. That's cool. We've saved the buck. If not, can you go out and sell my man? He's played close to 70 odd times for Arsenal Football Club. Can you go get a 15 million, a 20 and put on a selling clause? He might go and become, you know, he might do what Calvert-Lewin and Ings and all of these men are doing right now in the Premier League. And we might sit here one day and go, how did we let him go? Sometimes players need to leave to reach the next level. And Eddie probably needs to go and do that. So if you can get a resale, if you can get some money on him and a potential sell-on clause, you've done all right. And that could be reinvested. You know, hopefully Balogun signs a new deal. I would like Eddie to sign a new deal, go out on loan, you know, become an even better player, make more profit or prove you can step up. If not, let's make money. Balogun, we should have sold man last summer if we're going to just mess around. I would love Balogun to stay, and, you know, there's a lot of possibilities. You know, Eddie and Balogun could both stay and be used next season. One could go on loan, both could go on loan, both might not be here. I think Balogun, it would be good if he stayed here. If he stayed, signed a new deal, probably went on loan where he's guaranteed consistent games. So I wouldn't mind him staying and around. My bias is I think Eddie is ahead of Balogun right now because he's been exposed to more first team football. But I just think Balogun's got a bit more about him. I'd rather get Balogun to commit his future, see what we can do in the case of Eddie Nketiah, who has not been involved in the last 3 games or in any capacity, and them things there, people. But as you can see, the first report I've got here, you know, Arteta, you know, I think the more we go, the longer we go, I think we have to face reality that Balogun's gone. I do think we're in a tricky situation in that Balogun and Eddie's futures directly correlate, and they've got the same agent and they play the same position. Now, if you as an agent in charge of both of those players, I'm not saying it's wrong to sign a new deal, but, you know, Balogun's progression or lack of is going to be correlated with Eddie's or lack of. So one probably needs to move. You know, how much until we've made a definite answer on one, how many, you know, can't anybody be moved on sort of thing in that until, you know, Balogun's going to stay, you can't really do anything with Eddie and vice versa sort of thing. I think Balogun's gone. I think we'll sell Eddie. I think Lacazette's gone, but saying that, that's 3 strikers gone, and that just leaves you with Martinelli and Aubameyang. I do think Arteta wants a striker personally. Obviously, we've got the young Tyrese John Jules, who just turned 20 the other day. Would love him to get opportunities, people. But let's see exactly what has been said, people. I'm scrolling down beyond the jargon, as you lot can see. In the second half of last season, Eddie Nketiah made 13 appearances last season in the Premier League, plus 4 more in our FA Cup winning campaign. He got 844 minutes. Now, one thing people can't say is Eddie Nketiah has been a failure. You know, whatever way you say it, the premise, I don't think Eddie's going to be amazing. I think we can move on without him. But let's be real. He does get a bad rep. People are onto him for no reason at times. And let's be real. He's progressed through the academy. He's won an FA Cup. He's played significant times. That in itself is a success. My thing is this. Sometimes players just show they're not levels, you know. So Eddie's progressed through the academy. He's won stuff now. He's won an FA Cup. He's been regressed. He can leave with. He's done his job of becoming a professional footballer at Arsenal Football Club. That's cool. Sell him and move on. That's the problem with Arsenal. Sometimes it seems that we're in a bit of a hard halfway house with young players. It's like, so obviously it's clear to see when you've got people like Saka, they're gonna be first team. Sometimes man like Smith, people like a man like Smith Rowe, you know, everybody's singing his praises. Some man said he weren't good enough. He needed a bit of time. You get a bit of people like that. I just want us to be a bit proactive with our development, because you look at Eddie Nketiah, he's played close to 100 times for Arsenal Football Club. You don't really know what sort of striker he is. You haven't seen his footballing IQ improve too much. And, you know, are we going to get significant buck for him? And our academy should be what's keeping us afloat. You look at Chelsea. If Chelsea ever say we want to sell these young players, it's a bit different, but you see how much buck they're making, sort of thing. You know, there's no shame. Eddie might go somewhere and have a good career, which he's come from our academy, he's playing in top divisions. That's great. But I would like to see us get a decent change on him, people. I mean, as you lot can see with Arteta, I think the journalist has sold this one a bit short in relation to Balogun. He said, no, I'm still very positive that Flo is going to stay with us, and it's what we're trying to do as a club, and it's what I'm trying to do as a manager. To be fair with you, Balogun has seen Eddie Nketiah not involved in 3 match days, and he ain't been on the bench. So again, you ain't been on the bench when Aubameyang's been out for a variety of reasons. You ain't been on the bench now. You ain't been on the bench where we're allowed 9 subs. A lot of it is obviously to do with your contract. But for me, the minutes don't lie. Your manager could tell you everything under the sun. As an Arsenal fan and as an Arsenal Football Club supporter, I hope we confirm his future. So we have a potential first teamer or someone that can make profit. For Balogun, he needs to be selfish. If Arsenal can really tell you how you're going to become how they are going to try and make you a better player in 1 year's time, in 2 years, and in 3 years, and a real development path, fair play. If they can't and it appears a bit cloudy, then I think he needs to go somewhere where, you know, there's a pathway. Again, I'm not saying he's going to be Jadon Sancho, but everybody looks at Jadon Sancho like he, you know, I remember when people said he was making the wrong decision to go to Dortmund. How can you leave a coach like Pep Guardiola? You've left and they've recalled you from the under-17s World Cup and you're not even playing. You're playing with their reserves. Everybody thinks he came and started playing for the first team straight away. You know, it didn't happen like that. So if there's a real development path elsewhere, he can do his thing. You're right, Eddie Nketiah did come from our youth academy, but there's been a bunch of players, you know. James Sweet in our academies had time with Chelsea. Brooks had time with Chelsea. You know, Malcolm, who was former here, had Chelsea. Half of these players have all been everywhere. There's probably Chelsea youth players that have been at Arsenal. They've all been recycled on this circuit, you know. Half of our young players don't actually come from us, really and truly. What apart from a couple of others, you know. Tyrese John-Jules, he was at Charlton. Trey Coyle, he was at Charlton. Jack Wilshere and Charlie Patino, they were at Luton. You know, we pick up a couple of these players, people. So it is what it is. In relation to Balogun, I've accepted we lost him. Listen, he might go on and become a bad boy striker. Equally, he might not. I'm just angry at the club because you look at his peers, they all went out on loan. So that tells to me there was a plan. We was in this halfway house in which we weren't proactive about his contract, and you stand to not make a damn penny, and some clubs might take him on just because they can make profit in that regards. Obviously, I would love to. It appears based on, if we just take Arteta for face value, you know, he wants to stay and stuff like that. So maybe that is the encouragement. If Balogun sees Eddie leave or whatnot, he might see something happen. And Eddie's 21 years of age. For me, he's just not levels. He's 21, so he might be levels. You know, these strikers are funny. There was a time where, you know, where was Harry Kane at 21? Where was Aubameyang at 21? I'm not saying he's going to be like that. I'm saying these strikers are weird. You might look at one year like you're not levels. Next year, you might. Do I think Eddie Nketiah is going to go off to be an England international and all of these things? No, I don't. I hope he does, but I just don't see it. But I'm open to being surprised. But right now, I just don't think you cut the mustard. So I don't think you can be anything at Arsenal Football Club beyond the squad player. If we look at the statistics, people, he's got 1 goal this season in 14 appearances. You know, you've had chances, you're not taking them. Last season, when you came back from Leeds, I see a little thing, and I was like, this guy might be able to surprise, man. Obviously, he might have even scored against Leicester in the cup. I could be wrong, but he nicked it for us against when he came off the bench against West Ham. We were playing poor that game. Obviously, because of that, he got a little 17 against Liverpool. He got significant minutes against Sheffield. Fair play is hard. You know, let's be real. Apart from Sheffield, and he came off the bench, you can't really do much in these minutes, really, because 9 times out of 10, you're coming on when the game's been decided. Like you can see, he's coming on in these sort of games in particular, potentially Liverpool, not that I can remember, when we're chasing the game and stuff like that. And we know he's a rotation player. This was, for me, his period where he should have taken his chance. I think, although we got an assist against Southampton, he was quite poor. Better against Everton, but quite anonymous. Then he at the bench, people, because it's not levels right now, and now he's in real danger because he seemed to be one of the first names on the bench. He ain't been there, so he's been a bit part player, which is good for us to have a squad player. But for him, he needs to play significant minutes. I don't think he took his chance in the 76 or the 65 minutes he got here against Southampton and Everton. It's different. We all know it's a super sub thing, but for me, he's played 35 times in the Premier League. Of course, we have to discount a lot because some have been little 30 seconds and stuff, but you're moving into being a household name. It's like Joe Willock prior to going to Newcastle. You've played close to 70 odd times for Arsenal Football Club, and we're still saying, what are you, sort of thing? Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. And them sort of things there. So yeah, he's played, he's not been prolific anywhere other than youth level. And, it's great having the record for the under 21s and all those sort of things, but it don't help us as a football club. As you could see here before I changed the screen, people, he's played 60 times and he's got 12 goals. So for me, if you could grab a 15, 20, let him go somewhere, he can develop, sell on clause, it is what it is, people. I would undoubtedly look to get rid of Donny, people. As you lot can see here as well, Arsenal plan clear out of 9 players this season, including Alexandre Lacazette. Obviously, due to departures, this is how much we're saving on wages, which we hope can be reinvested elsewhere, people. Now, obviously, it's a catch-22 when you speak about Lacazette, really and truly, because I don't know how you look at it, because on one hand, I love Lacazette. I think you got to remember the guy that was player of our season. I think in a day and age where people underappreciate how big of a job football is for a squad. You need a squad. I think Lacazette's not quite the level to, do what Aubameyang's previously done, doing what Saka's on and what I hope Martinelli's on. I don't think he can be a flag bearer, a trailblazer of this football club. But what I do think he can be is a decent squad player. I think Lacazette is underappreciated in that regards. The hold up play, the work rate, big games, link up play, all of that sort of thing, people. Is strengths of Lacazette. But when I look at it on a cynical thing, Lacazette has not hit expectation where, we're looking at him to be a trailblazer. He wasn't that. He's come to the club and we're really praising him. That should be a given of any quality player, of a French international. You should have work rate. You should have link up play. You should have these you should be up for big games. Surely you shouldn't be praised for this if I look at it on a devil's advocate sort of thing. And no matter where you look at it, I think Lacazette's got good strengths. Obviously, we all know sometimes he can give us something a bit different from Aubameyang. He's just ultimately not a 20-goal man. So at his age, with the contract he's probably looking to seek, it probably doesn't make sense. For me personally, I'm all for letting him go, getting some cash, and reinvesting. But I don't know if the club will do that, because then, you've got too much question marks over all the strikers. I do think Arteta would like a striker. If you let Lacazette go, if you let Eddie go, and if Balogun leaves and Eddie leaves, you might say, do you know what, Lacazette, you're running down your deal. We're probably not going to see any finances for you already. Arguably, if you can help us get into the Champions League, that will be bigger than any transfer fee. I would rather sell him, get a transfer fee. But what are we getting? I think you're probably getting 20 million for Lacazette. I'll try for 35. You're definitely not getting your 52 back because of COVID, because he has not been the Lacazette. It's not that Lacazette's reputation has dropped, but he's not rated as highly as he was. He hasn't been that guy. So I would like to move him on. And as much as I like Lacazette, you could say he is in one of those situations where he's one of these hot and cold players, not that I'm throwing him in with El Nene and things like that, people. But, you've got, based on how Pepe's been at Arsenal right now, Pepe, Bellerin, David Luiz, Maitland-Niles, Xhaka, Rob Holding to a degree, even Cedric right now. There's a lot of hot and cold players which you truly don't know what you're getting on a consistent basis. And I think Lacazette is that. He's turned a corner. He's found some form, but he could be one, people, that you look at to move on, And what I would hope, if you're going to sell Lacazette, I do think you need to bring in a striker that can be utilized in the squad that has the strengths of Lacazette. Primarily, forget Lacazette and just look at, what Aubameyang doesn't do. I think we need someone like that can hold up the ball and the link-up plays there and the rest of it. I do think Lacazette is a good player for the squad, but I would be open to letting him leave. I wouldn't be against letting him run down his deal. It goes against all my logic. I'd be vexed that we never saw any P's and stuff like that. It makes sense. But in terms of saving money, Lacazette could, we could save losing him for free, move him on and saving his wages. Could offer him in a mate weight sort of thing to try and get somebody who knows, people. He's valued at over more than 30 million. But to be fair, if you got 30 million, I'd rather go for one of these, Isaacs and Dakar and all these strikers that are moving levels and doing their thing, but you don't really know if they're you know, I'd rather take a chance on Edouard and, you know, Daniel Marlon and Badu and all of these sort of strikers, then go for a Lacazette for 30 million. If you give me a deal on Lacazette, I'll be all up for it, people. If he was to reduce his wages and stuff like that, and he really done a thing like that, I wouldn't mind him. I don't think Lacazette should be one of the first to leave the football club, but I do think he should be on that list, if anything, people. I think it's with a heavy heart thing. So yeah, there's rumors of Eddie going, there's rumors of Lacazette going, you know, hopefully that could bring in, you'd hope 40 plus million, realistically 15 for Eddie, I'd say 10, maybe even 10 or 7.5 for Eddie. Ideal world 15, 20, you know, Lacazette probably taking 20, ideal world 35, but you're punching with those sort of things. So I'd rather, you know, in terms of resale value, I'd rather just sell Eddie and Nketiah and just keep Lacazette for a year, but probably both need to be moved on. But I need to see a confirmed decision. If you're going to get rid of two strikers, and let's just say Lacazette and Eddie, they're being moved on. Balogun, we can't really control anything because we haven't got his deal. You know, he can do what he wants. If 3 man leave, I think you got to bring a striker in. You know, I think you've got a blooding Martinelli up there as well, regardless of if he says he prefers playing on the left, without a doubt. You've obviously still going to have a Aubameyang for at least another 2 years. So regardless, you need to be looking at another striker, really and truly, regardless of what happens. You know, and there's obviously Tyrese John-Jules, who I'd love to see involved. I think he's better than Eddie Nketiah, without a doubt. I think he's got more to his game. I think he can affect the game when he's not scoring. But again, you don't really know. He's been disrupted with injuries. So yeah, Tony's a shout. I'd probably pass on that. Daka's a bad boy. I would be open to taking a chance on that. I'd be open to taking a chance on Edouard, rather Daka. You know, before that, rather that. You know, Badu's an underrated one. Wouldn't mind taking a little chance. That's what we're at. We've probably got to find one of these little strikers you could take a little chance. I can't lie. My immediate priority would be, actually, first and foremost, would be making Martinelli that striker. You know, you use Aubameyang, you ride Aubameyang's train to the wheel falls off, pause, and Martinelli is that striker. Martinelli's the guy that I'm pushing Aubameyang out wide for, like what happens with Lacazette. That's my striker long term. But I still think you need to grab one of these little strikers for the squad. You know, I don't know, people. I think squad strikers are underrated. You see how Giroud has been scoring goals for Chelsea, more so last season. You know, you see what Cavani's done in little dribs and drabs. Lacazette's not been prolific, but sometimes he has scored goals that's got us something. And I think people underappreciate how big of a squad you need, especially when you're trying to do the thing in the Europa League. Look at our month now. The games are coming thick and fast. This is why when man say things like, oh, don't bring in our because we got Smith Rowe, it's not making sense to me. I wouldn't mind Zapata. Great shout, the opinionated Gooner. Big up yourself for being back in. You know, Zapata's been a bad boy in Italy for a long time right now, man. And, you know, he's been doing his thing for Atlanta. And he's still, you know, I wonder if has he still got his cane rolls? You know, very iconic bit of hair of him. You know, he's been doing his thing. So it is what it is. You know, I like Ben Yedder, but I'd probably pass. To be fair, he scored a cracking couple bangers. Who did I play? And he licked in a free kick, or he almost scored a free kick. He's a good player still, but nah, man. I'd pass on that one still. My priority, like I said, it's an Eddie and Nketiah thing. I'd love to bring back Daniel Marlon. I don't know if Daniel Marlon's gonna be that 20, you know, them ones there, my guy, that 20 league goal man. I don't know, but he's someone that would, like I said, I'd want him to be part of the squad. Because I can't like my immediate bias as a striker. I like pacey strikers. Like I like people like Aubameyang. I don't really care about the hold up play thing, but we need someone that can do that. And I think if you can find someone that's got Lacazette strengths for a decent little price, I think you got to look to bring it in, really and truly. You know, man are saying get a winger and use Martinelli or Balogun up top. Rather use Martinelli than Balogun. I don't know how good Balogun is right now. I know he's a talented young player, but you know, is it a case that you're going to stay here and show what you're on, or you're going out on loan? We'll have to see. So in relation to that, people, you know, there's nothing really, you know, in terms of a clear out. We know the people that need to be cleared out of this football club. You know, in fact, there's people I'd say need to go. There's people that I would keep but be open to go. That's why when I speak to you lot, I'll only focus on the definites. You know, if your name is not Aubameyang within reason, you know, based off it, how he's been. If your name is not Aubameyang, if your name is not Tierney, Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, Smith Rowe now, Thomas Partey, probably those 7. If you're not any of those 7, then I'm open to letting you go. Then you've got the people like Pepe who I'd like to keep and be part of the team, but and things like that. I wouldn't be against selling Lacazette. I wouldn't be against keeping him, sort of thing. And then you got people like, I believe personally, you know, you've got to make a decision on Maitland-Niles and Joe Willock. On one hand, I want them both at the club. I think Joe probably has more of a chance. On the other hand, both could be moved on. I want Guendouzi to come back, but we need to make a decision. One needs to wonder how we're going to get players out first and foremost, people. So we're going to have to see what happens in that regards, people. We're going to have to see. Apologies, people. That's the first timestamp. Who did we talk about? Lacazette, Eddie, Arsenal clear out. Sorry, people. That's just the timestamp. So moving away from that, as you can see, we've covered that. You know, Lacazette, based on his contract, like Eddie Nketiah, like Kolasinac, David Luiz, and the rest of them, Guendouzi to a degree, their contracts are always going to be part of speculation. We've covered Balogun. We've touched on Eddie. Big up ZRAFC as well. Big up him for the follow as well. Mark Irwin, this Mark Irwin guy has been chatting a lot, and it just kind of correlates what I was talking about, people. Arsenal will launch major cost-cutting plans despite just slashing their wage bill by almost 700 grand a week, people. Midfielders Guendouzi and Lucas Torreira on loan with Hertha Berlin and Atletico will be sold in the summer for around 25 million each. Now, to be fair, I think you can make 25 million on Guendouzi. I think that's about 15 million too short of my personal valuation of Matteo Guendouzi, people. But at the same time, you've probably got to look at it like, yo, we made a profit. We signed him for 8 million or something like that. We've made a little profit on him. It is what it is. I think we'll be missing out on him because he can turn into a real player of the future. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. To have a year left on his deal and make 25 million, you know, having signed him for 7 or 8, he's played for Arsenal for a couple of years. That is a flip. You know, it's unfinished potential, but it is a profit. Sometimes you've got to do it. He might go on and become a better player and things like that. But sell-on clause, profit is what it is. Torreira, obviously, we paid around 25 million. That sort of regional familiar fee for Torreira. Don't think we're going to get that unless it's them ones like where Arsenal pay money and that it's a Bright House cash converters thing, like they can pay us for about 10 years. Because if I'm looking for Lucas Torreira, I'll be real with you, people. I'm giving Arsenal all the excuses under the sun. I know there's even talk of going back to Fiorentina, but I'd say, hold on a minute. You know, he went in a short space of time, went from shouts of being your player of the season, a player that you've replaced finally after letting Vieira go. He's not been able to play under a couple of. You've brought in a new manager, and Emre didn't play. He stopped playing after one season. Arteta came, he didn't play. You know, he's gone to Spain where everything was set up for him. He didn't play. You're not getting your 25 million. You better hold the 15, or I might take him on loan with an option to buy and all of these sort of things. The Lucas Torreira one, I'm not too sure if we're going to get that. Obviously, Kolasinac has a year left on his deal. We made money based on a loan fee for him. We're looking to get that one down permanent. I do think the club will be open to keeping Eddie Nketiah, Maitland-Niles and Joe Willock because of the homegrown and because of the rest of it, people. But at the same time, Maitland-Niles, he made it clear he wants to be a midfielder. Clearly, Arteta doesn't see him as someone, for whatever reason, to be a first-choice right-back. Go and make your cash on him. It is what it is. Our academy is there. You know, our academy is there for first-team players. But if not, can you become a household name? You know, there's no shame. Maitland-Niles would be sold having become an FA Cup winner, having played 100 odd times for Arsenal Football Club, having become a Premier League player and an England international. You know, our academy costs 2-3 grand to run. If you can get 15 plus for Maitland, it's done its job. Eddie Nketiah, you're doing what you need to do. You've progressed from the academy. That's a benefit in itself. Sadly, you might not be level. So if you could get some cash, and you know, Joe, I'm hoping you play well at Newcastle just so you can make it here. If not, and Newcastle stay up and they say, yo, 20 million and a sell-on clause, we say, yo, brother, take that. You know, Maitland-Niles, I don't know if West Brom are going to stay up, and if they were, are they going to be involved? And loan report soon coming. Loan report and, you know, loan report under 23s and under 18 videos will be out tomorrow, Thursday at some point, people. But we might say, yo, do you know what? We can just make some cash. If we can get 20s and 10s and familiar fees and sell-on fees and whatnot, do what we can. I think Maitland will have permanent offers. I don't think he's enhancing his reputation based on the last 2 games, but you get the point, people. And as you lot can see here, apparently Arsenal want to sign Danny Ceballos and Matt Ryan on permanent deals. I'm cool with the Matt Ryan one. Realistically, we knew he was probably looking at that. Matt Ryan would have a year left on his deal, I believe, at the end of the season. So I don't mind the Matt Ryan thing. He screams. He based on what I see, you assume he's somebody that's very focused and not happy with his position, but you know, you get what I'm saying. And he's a serious guy. Danny Ceballos, there's rumors of him being available for 22 million. I'm not against it. I'm not necessarily for it. Why I'm for it to a degree is because you look at it, you know, Ceballos, I like his mentality. I think he's on the defensive side of the game more than people give him credit for. 22 million, you could hardly do a lot worse. He still isn't the oldest. There's still a bit of resale value. Arteta likes him, so why not? You know, and we could do a lot worse. And I wouldn't mind him, like I said. Why I would be against it is because really and truly, and don't get it twisted, you know, bro. Don't get man are saying it's a ripoff. Don't get it twisted, people. Oh yeah, add Leno to that list as well. Forgot to say him of players I can trust, but I can't lie. Don't get it twisted. I'll be saying, you know what, you want 22 million. I'm paying for the next 20 years. Don't get it twisted. I'd prefer Guendouzi as well. But why I would be against Ceballos is because I ain't really seen consistency. I've seen little moments of brilliance. I ain't really seen, like yesterday, not yesterday, last game, apologies people, he was superb. I remember fans wet their pants over Ceballos when he ripped Newcastle, when he was time wasting against Newcastle and he did up Burnley. I just haven't seen this Madrid player I thought I was getting. You know, I thought, well, you see how I said them 7 names, I thought Ceballos was going to be one of them. You know, I was really going to see that Real Madrid sort of thing rub off on the team sort of thing, pause. And I haven't seen it. So I think 22 million, can we go out and get a number 8 who we really know what he is, sort of thing? Because many people say, I still don't know if Dani Ceballos is a deep lying or is a box to box or whatever. Can we spend that 22 million elsewhere? You know, can that 22 million be put towards whatever reserves we already have for our? I'd be for that. I'm on the Matt Ryan permanent deal. Of course, if you can find a better number to do that, but I'm not against that. Of course, I don't mind any of these players leaving. Obviously, it's nice to see we've saved around 16.5 million on wages for the rest of the season, which you hope can be reinvested, people. As you lot, we've already covered, you know, they could listen to offers for Lacazette. And David Luiz could be released, but we've heard David Luiz could be released, David Luiz coaching. And I think the problem with a lot of this is you need to make a decision, because a lot of them have gone out on loan, but you never get the vibe that they're truly out the door. I don't really think there's players within reason that you think are favored by, are truly not favored by Arteta. It's like the door was kind of shut for Maitland, but it wasn't really closed. Eddie Joe the same. Kolasinac, it was very close. You know, no one's there. It's just about to close. You know, just before the fridge light turns off on the fridge, but it weren't closed. So I think decisions need to be made. The David Luiz thing probably highlights that a bit more. Decisions need to be made. We need to be a bit nasty. Dare I say, it's a bit cozy at the club. So big decisions that need to be made come the summer, people. Simple as that, people. 1705. Big up to, I said somebody said they jump in late, so the timestamps help a lot. Whatever I could do. Keeping up consistently, and you heard we wanted 25 million for Guendouzi. Bringing up this, apparently we want 50, which is more or less right. You're not gonna get 50. Well, yeah, in fact, sorry, my bad. It correlates 25 million each. I don't think you're getting that for him. If I'm going for Guendouzi, I'm trying to maximize the profit if I'm her for billing. Realistically, you know he's not going to be there long. I'm saying, hold on, you want 25 million? He's here for a year. He's got a year left on his deal. We could talk to him for free in a couple of months. You better knock 10 million off that, in which Arsenal would still make a 4 or 5 million profit, but then you would really see the cash. So we'll be in problems in that regards, people. I'd rather keep Guendouzi. I think Guendouzi's one of those weird midfielders in that some days you think he offers a lot, some days he offers nothing. He's not going to be a guy to get goals and assists, but and he needs to improve dramatically defensively. But I like his mentality. I like his ball play. I like his willingness to carry the ball. I like his bravery on the ball. I like his passing range. I think he's going to have a good career in the game beyond Arsenal, really and truly. I love Torreira. You know, I was Torreira FC. Torreira could pass a football, and I'll be telling you how that's bigger than anyone else. But mentally, I don't think he's ever wanted to be at this club for too long. So it is what it is. I think we're going to struggle to sell Torreira personally at a profit or fit anything of that sort, people. Away from that, as you lot can see, consistent with what we already saw, Mark Irwin, apparently we want to sign my man Ceballos and Matt Ryan on permanent deals, and we may seek a fee with Real Madrid for Martin Odegaard, in which we should have tried to get a confirmed set fee already. There's no point being reactive, because with every good game that Martin Odegaard plays, Madrid are just going to keep fobbing us off and say we'll talk, because that's going to drive the asking price. And Madrid, obviously, we've got a little bit of a relationship with them now, but they don't matter. They apparently need money. They'll sell to the highest bidder. So it is what it is in those regards, people. It firmly is what it is in those regards. We're going to get into Benfica in a sec, people, but let's cool off for a sec. Let me see what you guys are saying. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. It doesn't cost a thing. Check out the pinned message, because we'll be here later, you know. Champions League watch along. Everybody here is delusional, deluded talk. Okay. I think you need to get your own mannerisms, man. I think there's some plagiarism. I think there's some plagiarism there, you know. But fair play, do your thing. Bro, it's a fridge light still. It's a fridge light still. But it is what it is. What are you guys saying? Guys move like we can't have Guendouzi and Ceballos. We need depth more than anything. Xhaka, who I'm not sold on. To be fair with you, I'm not going to lie. I don't really want Ceballos. I mean, I don't want Ceballos and Guendouzi. I won't cry. You know, I think the midfielders, that two of the midfielders alone should be here. But at the same time, I think I look at our midfielder, man, need to be able to complement each other. You know, Ceballos is a great footballer, but what are you? Guendouzi, what are you? Xhaka, what are you? You know, I see midfielders who, my opinion changes, and I want that kind of thing shut. I want to know that I have a number 6 that can play with Partey or instead of Partey, a couple number 8s or two, these sort of things. We've got too many players who can do a lot of things, but aren't really mastered of anything, really and truly, really and truly. And I think the club will probably say, do you know what? I think they would confirm the signing of Ceballos if they could probably sell Guendouzi and things like that. Do you know what? I don't mind keeping them and loaning them out because you never know what they might turn into, really and truly. But and it's true what Yo-Yo is true. That is the new norm. Like Wenger said, players are running out their deals. That's the new norm that we live in, man. I've been screaming John McGinn for time, but that one there is 50 million. And I therefore agree, Christian. Just saying Ceballos isn't 22 million better than Guendouzi. I get that. I 100% agree. I wouldn't be against it either, James. But, you know, sorry, James. But, you know, for me, being good at dropping the shoulder isn't good enough. You know, I get it. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm a whore for someone dropping their shoulders or doing skills. I get it. You know, we love technical footballers, but that's not enough for me. I want to look at my midfield and I see how collectively they complement each other and how they can be utilized over a 38-game period. You know, it's not that we don't need technical great footballers, but what is Ceballos? Are you consistent enough? What position specialist are you? You know, I want specialists more than anything. I don't mind having a one of a Ceballos or Guendouzi, something like that, where they kind of, you need to unearth something in them and things like that. But who knows, man? In any racist society, there is a racial brother. What are you talking about, brother? I don't know what you're talking about, but say that, man. I think people overhype Guendouzi at times, but it's calm. I think Miguel Aziz is coming through the ranks very well, but people need patience. He's got a lot to improve if he's going to have a consistent run in the Arsenal midfield as great as I think he is. I'd rather splash the peas on Aura as well. Man is saying Ceballos drives me mad. I can't lie. Touches the ball too much. Likes to touch the ball too much when he can do the simple action. Fair play. Man is saying Ceballos is currently on 50k a week. He's cheap, and that's why the board want him. He would jump up to 75k a week. We can do better. No consistency, exactly. Ceballos always seems to play good towards the end of the season. True, but we need man that are gonna do it all the time. No to Ceballos, we can get someone better. Ceballos is hit and miss. I don't want him to block the path of another young player like Guendouzi. I don't think they necessarily correlate. Trua said, I'd rather let Ceballos and Torreira go. Put faith in Guendouzi. The kid is special. Too hot and cold for me. I guess that's in relation to Ceballos. Ceballos does a job. Xhaka does a job, but they're not the full packages. Fair play. Big up yourself, MJ. Say we hustle them for 18 million. We grab him. Fair play. I think you're overdoing it. He has been better than Denilson, man. Denilson, I did not like him at all. It all depends, man. I don't know because I'm not looking at our finance book. I don't know, but this is why scouting is the better thing. You know, we're talking about Aouar and Odegaard and household names. What's stopping you from getting someone from Brazil, from emerging markets, playing in the second division? You know, because obviously, where'd you get Eduardo? You know, Eduardo obviously got injured and stuff, but you had to find him somewhere. You know, we found a Brazilian who's playing for Croatia in Croatia. Go and scout players. Before, all of these players within reason that are household names, they had to be found somewhere. You know, Lewandowski was playing somewhere in Poland before he went off and became a madman. Go out and find that. And at this day and age where, again, it's easy for me to say that, but this is why we need to do these things more than ever, because the minute we want a player and there's a bidding war, it's long for us. It's long for us. We can't do the toe-to-toe things. Big Celta said, Photoshop skills coming along nicely. Come on, my guy, man. Bit by bit, each and every time, man. It's lovely to do, man. You know, it's lovely to see you lot can see the little progress. It is quite time-consuming and jarring, but yeah, man, we're getting there. We're getting there. Appreciate that. Do you think that it's likely we get our DG. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that boat has gone. I think the boat's gone, but I love Ceballos. I like Aura. I love him as a footballer. So I'll keep selling myself that dream until we see any different, man. We've got a Swiss Army knife of a team. Just need to get rid of the Swiss player first. I wouldn't say we've got a Swiss Army knife of a team. I think you're selling us a bit strong, but fair play. Ceballos, I mean, Guendouzi and Partey could be a good partnership. I think so as well, my guy. You never know. You can't rule it out, man. Can't rule it out at all, man. You know, hopefully, like Cam has said, if Guendouzi has an attitude adjustment, then I'd love to see him next season. Hopefully, with having a kid, with being away, with just getting older as a person, things can change. Hopefully, man. But I think that one day is done and he's gone. It is what it is, man. He's firmly gone. You know, I haven't seen the tennis, but it's unfortunate that Nadal got ripped. If he did, because we're both left-handed. That's one reason I like Nadal. So hopefully he didn't hold the L. But if it is what it is. LJ said, "Hey, Deluded, a bit off topic, but I'm planning on starting a sports channel in the future. Any tips on what to do?" I ain't made it to be giving tips. I'll just say do it because you really want to do it. Be consistent. And don't let anybody tell you that it's not good enough or you can't do it, not even yourself. Because I tell myself this isn't worth it more times than anyone can. But I've also got to tell myself I'm chatting shit and keep going, sort of thing. Big up yourself, all my JA tugs. I don't know where we're at with Balogun, man. You know, it appears he's not signing a new deal. Saint Maximin, is this no. Listen, if he for me, he's like the Delafeos and Adama Traores. It's not that I don't think you're a good player. It's your career hasn't panned out the way people were hyping you when he's young. Because fundamentally, you haven't got better enough end product. And you know, Arsenal, we don't even get a tune. We don't even polish the rough diamonds we have in our teams to be bringing in guys like that. You know, if he improved his final third, he'd be one of the best, if not probably the best in the league, really, truly. But I don't know, man. There must be some scouts there, and if there's not, we're moving dangerous, man. But it is true though. It makes sense if we fired them scouts. It's peak then, innit? Then this is where I'm on to Edu because again, we need to learn from hindsight and apply better foresight. And you know, you've got to make it happen. You've got to make it happen. I'm not too many a time personally. I've sat here and I've been a bit bullish in relation to transfers at Arsenal. I'm at the stage where they've got to show me, you know. They've got to show me, you know, if they start signing people, I'll get all behind it. But seeing is believing. I'm not putting my heart on the line and thinking, you know, because the way us fans, I sometimes think people involved in football clubs, they don't want their clubs to be like how it could be, how fans want it. Because if we had it, obviously Arsenal be winning titles again. If Spurs could, they'd be obviously doing the same. Liverpool probably would have reinvested and not got into the season they're having now. So I'm not too sure. And I can't control anything at my football club. So I don't like to get gassed, man, at all, man. Yeah, true. What did you make of Leno's interview about social media? He said the right thing. You know, people talk nonsense. It can be quite great, but people use it for nonsense, innit? So it doesn't make sense, innit? You might as well not look at it as a professional footballer. You know, you might as well. When people are wishing suicide on you, well, I can't blame them. And for me, it's sad, you know, because in a day and age, this is probably the best time of life to be a football fan. We live in a day and age of social media where you're seeing news all the time. Like I'm 25, so I've kind of grew up with the internet, but it didn't, you know, I've grew up in that weird instant where I've had a life and remembered life without the internet, but it was just coming into it. And I remember, you know, if you want, like even Thierry Henry leaving, I didn't find that out on the TV or anything. I saw my neighbor and started bursting into tears because she showed me the Sun newspaper. You can see him holding up the Barcelona thing. Now we're tracking planes, you know. Now football could, you know, fans and clubs and everyone, we're more connected now than ever. Sadly, you get some neeks and they ruin it. And this is where you're at, man. I don't know how much could be raised with our departures. My number one target would be our really and truly. Smash the like buttons. We don't need more pace merchants at Arsenal. Fair play. Locatelli, I can never say his name. He's a decent little player. What did you think about how Brighton fans reacted to Matt Ryan's interview? I've actually clipped that up when I spoke about it in my last live stream. Shameless plug. So open up another tab, my guy, and hit up that one there where you'll find what I exactly think. I don't want to circle back over the same stuff. Apologies, my guy. Apologies. I've already said it. I think he's gone, my guy. this is it as well, you know. It's tragic, but then people are opening their mouth to wish that on the next person online when they wouldn't say that to their face, and they'd probably be ashamed. It's a madness. It's an absolute madness, people, and it's disgraceful, really and truly. Um, what can I say? Any sane person doesn't want to see that, really. Like, what more can you say? Please make sure you're hitting that like button, people. It doesn't cost a thing. 255 likes, people. Can we get that to 300? Come on, people. Please hit up the like button. Moving away from that, though, let's speak about Arsenal versus Benfica now, man. Now, once again, I've done a video. Adrian of Rabona TV was kind enough to be on my channel. It'll be out later today, so make sure you're looking at that along with the watch along and the rest of it for the Champions League. But let's speak about the round of last 32 in the Europa League, people. Apologies as I, preview. I have to make sure I know where I actually started my preview. Benfica v Arsenal preview. I apologize, people. We're gonna get there. Trust me, we're gonna get there. But what somebody said before we start. One dislike, probs a Spuds fan. Ladies, stop watching Deluded Gooner when your husbands are in the room and stuff like that, because they start coming on my live streams and doing sour things like this. So please make sure you pattern that up, people. Please make sure you pattern that up. But let's speak about Benfica now. Now, our season could be on the line. It's the last 32. As you can see here, people, for me, serious business time of the season. I need the whole of our 25-man squad to stand up. Games are not getting any easier. Games are coming thick and fast. Multiple games. And when you look at our next 3 games, you've got Benfica twice, City in between them. You can't really make it up, sort of thing. So everyone needs to stand up. I believe it's our only meal ticket out the hood at this moment in time. Mathematically, can still get out of get into the Champions League via the league, but I'm not really convinced in our capabilities to get to the final, but that should be the target. That could be our only meal ticket out the hood. It's as simple as that. Tierney's been in full training, so I don't know if he's going to be there, but we run the risk of not only no Tierney, but no Partey. This is why, like I've been saying at the start, squad football is vital, people. Squad football is vital. As I said, the travel plans that we've got in relation to this don't make it any easier. And the games in general are all coming thick and fast. We're going against Mr. Jesus or Jesus. I can't pronounce his name. Who's, won the Copa Libertadores. You've seen them play 4-4-2. You've seen them play 4-1-2. You've seen them play a bunch of different formations just by looking at their recent games, people. You've seen them kind of tinker and change. So we're going against a team that, like us, aren't necessarily in the best of form. They lost in relation to not being in the Champions League. If you remember, they lost that one-legged tie. This could be their only meal ticket out of the hood, and they're 4th in the league. They're Sporting, Porto, and other people ahead of them. You get it? So this could be the only luck. And obviously, there's a lot of pressure on the manager. Like I always say, when you're backed up into a corner as a man or as an individual, a group of players, you either stand up to be counted or get scared. So I'm scared of that fight back. A lot of people are saying Arsenal will walk all over them. I won't feel it. I don't feel that's the case. Obviously, we know the players they've got, man. I can't say my man's name, but Smith, I can't say his name in it, but the German 24-year-old, he is quite good in front of goal. He reminds me a tiny bit of Muller. Not that he's anything like it. Gilmando, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think he's of the level people say. He's better going forward than he is defensively, but he's someone to be wary of. Pedrino, player we've been linked with. They've got Everton as well, who could be a danger. They've got former Spurs lads in Adel Tarat and Vertonghen. They've got Otamendi, and again, they play a high line, people. They play a high line. They've got slow centre halves. You can already see where the avenue to exploit that could be with Aubameyang or something along those lines, people. They've got Seferovic, who, if anything more than that, is a battering post. And they've also got the talented Darwin Núñez, as you know. Pizzi is a decent player. Rafael Silva needs to improve his final third production, but they've got decent players. And if I haven't said it one more time, Darwin Núñez. So they're not easy to play. Their last 5 games, they've been quite poor. They sit 4th. They're on 38 points. These are all the teams ahead of them. They drew against... I wish I don't... Which one of you lot's Portuguese? Because I can't say that, people. Apologies. But they drew with this team. They beat Astori. They drew with 0-0 with Vitória. They held an L a few weeks ago to Sport in Lisbon. So their form hasn't genuinely been that good. They've been having mixed results, some wins, some draws, some losses. They are, apart from having good players, it appears that in the final third, they're not as prolific defensively. They're not shutting up shop. There's a whole bunch of rumblings off the field. They've been dealt a tough hand with Corona as well, people. We've got to remember that. We've beat a couple of Portuguese teams. We're actually yet to beat Benfica, people. And if you look at it statistically, they've taken 11 points from a possible 24 in their last League 8 games, people. They were also beaten against Porto and they lost to Braga in cup competition. So this gives you every bit of confidence, but this is a fight back. They looks like you're not winning the league. It looks like, you're not qualified. You might not even finish in a respectable place by Benfica standards. This could be the only thing. And also, forgive me if I'm wrong, has their manager, I swear their manager's gone to a Europa League final as well. So he's got the pedigree. I could be wrong in that regards, people. Skipping ahead of the lineup quickly, just so you can see their recent fixtures here. As you can see, let me zoom in if you can't. I know some of you wear glasses. Apologies. You can see it makes for mixed reading. They come into the game winning 3-1 in the first leg of the semi-finals. Then they won 2-0 before that. They drew to Vitoria. So they've been a bit positive in recent weeks. Only really 1 L in the last 5. But generally, their form hasn't been good enough. As I said, COVID has ruined them. But it's a madness where they've been this season, really and truly. This is all irrelevant because these are actually questions I asked Adrian of Rabona TV about Benfica, which he answered as well. So make sure you're checking out that video when it lands. It will land today, people. In relation to the lineup, ignoring the timestamps, difficult one, not in terms of Leno. Leno picks himself in goal, people, as you lot know. I think realistically, Bellerin's going to play and Cedric is going to be on the left-hand side. And I know Saka should be playing on the right. But for me, I just feel move Cedric inside. I feel, David Luiz is playing against his former team. They play a high line. As much as David Luiz is a fire hazard, if they play a high line, I need people who can pass the ball. He can do that. And for all Luiz's things, our season potentially could be on the line. I need strong characters. So I'm going to go with the 2 Portuguese speakers, the more experienced David Luiz and Gabriel. Listen, I want to play Saka there. I have no problems with Cedric starting at left back to a degree. And Bellerin, it is what it is. But for me personally, I'd rather Saka just do... I know Saka's our right wing and we know he does the business. But I'd rather, if Tierney isn't fit, and Tierney did take part in full training, obviously if Tierney's fit, Tierney plays for me. But same way, people, I'd rather Saka do a job for me still. I'm not going to sit here and cap. I'd rather Saka just do me a job if it was going to have to be the Cedrics and people like that. And that's with a heavy heart because I want Cedric to play in midfield. I mean, I want Saka to play in midfield, sort of thing, people. So yeah, this would be my team. I go with Leno, I go with Cedric, I go with Gabriel. Well, Leno in goal, obviously. Cedric and Saka at fullback. David Luiz and Gabriel at centre half. Midfield, I've gone with Dani Ceballos, Xhaka, and I'd keep Odegaard in. I wish I could pick 12 players. I think Smith Rowe deserves to play, but I think, Pepe didn't deserve to be dropped. I think he's fresh now. I think he's raring to go. For some reason, I just want to get Lacazette back into the team, people, at the time of making this. But saying this, I'm not going to lie, people. I think I've switched up what I want to see now, really and truly. I'm not going to lie with you, people. I think I've switched it up. I think I'm going with that, I think I'm going with that. Personally, that would be my lineup. So Leno in goal, Cedric right back, centre half of David Luiz and Gabriel, Saka doing a job if Tierney's not fit at left back, Xhaka and Ceballos in midfield, Odegaard, this is what we brought you in for. Show me the Madrid player that you're on. Pepe, you've had a rest. Go and show Arteta why he was wrong to drop you. Lacazette was in the team, but Aubameyang's fresh off getting a hat-trick. He's our captain. We need players to stand up to be counted. I don't think you can drop Smith Rowe. Really and truly, and I'll always fight for Smith Rowe to be in the team. Now, I wouldn't mind pulling Lacazette over there, Aubameyang on the flanks, linking up with Saka. I wouldn't actually mind Martinelli starting either, but that would probably be my lineup. I must admit, it's changed off the top of my head since we've started, people. So it is what it is in that regards. That's my lineup for the Benfica game, people. That's how I feel. But ultimately, it's a tough game, innit? I'll play the strongest lineup we could. Same way I'll try and play the strongest lineup against City. The best thing we could do to help ourselves would be trying to just any poor form that Benfica allegedly on, any inconsistencies, any inability to keep clean sheets, put the game to bed in the first leg, because that's what we didn't do against Olympiacos, and that's where we were in trouble. That's where I want our players to learn from, actually. That's actually where I want our manager to learn from, because I think over those 2 legs, we struggled in that regards, people. So that's where we need to learn. I want to see strong teams. I want to see everyone to stand up to be counted. We're in a difficult month now, There's no hiders anymore. People can't hide. That's all I've got to say in relation to our preview, people, really and truly. Let me not lie to you lot. So, yeah, man, that's my lineup. What else, man? To be fair, I like him on the wings, but he's got to do his thing, man. Is Saka really being questioned? Is it real? You're saying what I'm saying is questionable. Fair play, but I need him to do me a job, man. Need him to do me a job. Big up the moderators, man. Big up the moderators for being on job, really and truly. They must have got people must have been talking was at some point, and you've got Mo saying you delusional Gooner. I mean, what can I say, man? Your mother likes when I'm delusional. What can I say, man? She likes the people. Deluded. Know them ways there. Like heard she gets horny for the dark hearts, dark hearts, dark hearts. But anyways, big up all the non-twats and the people that actually would probably say this, man. Is what it is, man. Right, William speaks Portuguese, bro. You better, unless William is doing translator jobs or unless William's working at the border force, can forget all about that, man. Can forget all about that. All about that. Bro, whispering her mum's, man, bro, I don't know why he's onto me. His mum saying he's delusional. She's probably busting it open and deluded tea, probably doing silhouette challenge and that. But let's stay on task. Let's stay on task, man. I'd hate me too if I was you, because being an idiot, you know, you're getting yourself buoyed in front of 400 odd people. Think about what you did and think about I can never be in this situation again. Decision making on par with some of our centre halves at this club. I'd hate me too, man. You know, look at what is going on, man. Like, you know, we live in a day and age where you got the internet, you could be doing everything, and you're here talking nonsense. It's crazy, man. But I guess that's what you get. Donny must have got his post nut clarity for a sec after watching his little pool hub, and he came back, man. Man is deranged with the clapbacks. I'm a deranged guy. Don't send for man, innit? I'm a good guy. Don't thingy. But on positive stuff, what have we said here? DG, we're all waiting to see you in the Sky Sports studio. By God's grace, man, by God's grace, you know, cream always rises to the top. They can't let a man not break in for a while, man. You got to be able to do this thing, man. Bro, let's leave. Listen, bro, he's doing a madness, man. Listen, it's a free service. We're talking about football. I ain't no trolls, but I get annoyed for you, look, because they're ruining a good service. They're ruining a good little thing we've got going, and I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Like, if it makes you happy, makes you sad, it's quite sad. It's quite sad. I don't know if I'm hilarious, but moving on, Jack has said, what's your score prediction? I'm going to say 2-0 Arsenal, man. Weirdly enough, I'm kind of confident that we might just do a job that Arteta's got it through to these players. No effing about. We need to stay in this thing. So hopefully, man, hopefully it's a thing, man. Man said, DG, let's go. Come on. DG and Gary Nev with Cara Super Sundays. That would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Who are the 9 players? You're gonna have to go back there. I don't think there was the article just said 9 and didn't actually say 9. Says you're right. You know, do you know what it is? I must admit, I can ignore trolls. But sometimes, like, just once in a while, I see one. I'm like, nah. Why not? Like, why not? Why not, man? It's a matter. I'd hate to be you. But what have you said? Do you prefer having 3 creative midfielders or 2 wingers and a number 10? I prefer having 2 number 8s and a 10, but I prefer having these 8s. It's not that they're not creative. They're able to pass a ball forward. You get it? So stuff like that, man. Bruv, she loves it when I say people, man. It makes the coochie wet. And his mum's probably an old cougar as well. Not that I'm ageist, man. So you know the ones there. You know DG likes the old things as well. So if you got some wages for man, if you got some inheritance for man, I'm there now. I'm playing, man. I'm playing. Hit the like button though, man. They could never trick me out of my position, man. But you know, we do have time to entertain clowns at times. People are gonna hate. They are the biggest fans. You've got to be a fan if you're sitting there talking crap on someone's live stream that you don't like. You've got to be. And you've got to be weird. And that means not only does his mum might dig a man, his mum digs me, you know, he's digging man too. Pause, you know, which is a bit funny. Moving forward, Princess said you need to bring the show with Turkish back. Soon land. Ultra Booster said your takes and approach allows me to just play this in the background, bro. I appreciate that, man, that you can still work while listening to me. I appreciate that, man. Like Matt said, though, hit the like button up, man. Henri to Bournemouth. Well, I've seen Henri. I've seen Patrick Vieira. Like I said, if one of them man there signed for that club, I'm buying a Bournemouth shirt. Like, you know, it's the Thierry Henry thing. The Photoshop job is serious. I appreciate that. I don't think it was that good, but you know, them ones there, you've seen a lot of videos now and you're getting a bit more confident. You know, soon I'll be able to, you know, edit my face onto Mount Rushmore and all of these sort of things. Really, it's just about getting better. Really, it's just about improving. And I must admit, now that I understand what I'm kind of doing on Photoshop, it is more enjoyable. And if nothing more, it's a skill that nobody can take away from me. And if worse comes to worse, potentially make money from, like everybody else needs to do. So I would say it's good. You need to collab with Charles Watts, brother. Daniel, I hear that. I've been hitting him up. I've been spamming him, but I can't do it alone. I need you lot to big him up as well, hit him up, and to the point where he can't deny it, sort of thing, man. DG, think about your brand. Stop seeing these youths, mum. Stop seeing these youths, mum, and drinking their Capris. Hey, trust me. Maybe I have to, man. Maybe I have to, man. He just vexed, man. I bought him a little. I bought him a little thing for Christmas. I said I'm coming back, and I never came back. How does an OG like Deluded not have more followers? I don't know. I wish I had more followers, but we keep going, man. Man said, DG, you're big time. Never, never, ever, never, ever, 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 my guy. But love for that regardless. You know, Gooner, I appreciate that, man. Man said you need to get your face on the thumbnails. I was thinking that, but I don't look like I'm in a position to take better pictures. My hair's looking greasy. Lockdown's doing me nasty, my guy. The only one I could probably take is the one that you lot probably you know, my YouTube DP or whatever, that's probably the only one, really and truly. So it's one of them ones, man. You need to hop on more with Hugh, my guy. You know, big up Hugh. You know, have me on. I think we was meant to do something today, really and truly. Why not? Sort of thing. Can you see yourself as a football journalist, like asking Arteta press conference questions? I would love to ask questions. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. You know, I don't see why just because I don't have a journalism degree and them things there, why I couldn't, people, man. Is what it is. Bro, your hair looking greasy, but you're still pulling people's mom. Yeah, it's about the sauce, man. Feels the greasiness, man. Bro, use your allow me. All right, cool. That's something I'll try. That's something I can try. That's something I'll try. I'll get on that. I'll get on that. Oh man, fam, that's it. You have to just raid up his thing, really and truly. Like, I've tried, man. That's one thing I've realized in this game. The game's the game. That's why when I get aired by someone or someone don't do something, I'm like, it is what it is. Because even in this short time of YouTube, there is people. That's why I don't get upset when I reach out and people air it. It's the game, innit? Because there's been times people, you lot won't see it, but I've reached out to some people. They've aired it. You know, they've aired it just way before I've got bigger than I am now. Not that I'm big, but more subscribers you get. And I've asked them again, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it." And I've stopped, and I've gone, "No, I don't want to do it." You know, not even on a pride thing. I'm like, "You didn't rate, man." And now you're just because I asked you the same question, you're gonna act that fickle. And they even said, "Oh, I didn't know it was you." Yeah, you bloody did. That's why I don't look down on people, and that's why if I air someone, which I don't mean to, and I shout them and they don't, that's the game, innit? It's the game. It's the game. Man said, "Will you consider collating with Arsenal Realist on YouTube?" Who's that? The guy that puts them up on his face, sort of thing. Why not? I mean, why not? I think he sent for me in one of his, praised me and then sent for me in one of my vids, almost dropped some water, people. But why not? I ain't got nothing against no one, really and truly. There's no one I wouldn't collab with beyond the obvious. If you know, you know, innit? Simple as that. Hey, super chat time. Love for that, man. You've said DG into Cougars and leaving haters waiting for milk. Hey, I don't discriminate, man. It's just the older ones, they know what they want. But, you know, there's probably a certain person listening. So if you're listening, you know, it's all entertainment. You know who you are. Don't be doing all of that. You think you're funny, innit? You think you're funny. Lol. You don't need that, man. But Lewis has said, we need some more people asking some real questions to them, man, instead of them being asked some absolute waffle. It's so true. So true. It's so true, man. It's absolutely true. I wouldn't hold my breath for that one still, but you could do your thing. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath on that one still. Love for the £2, my guy. That's a double cheeseburger right there. I'm gonna go get that in a bit still. I'm not even gonna sit here and cap, man. I'm not even gonna sit here and cap. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. How many likes are we on? 325. Can we move that to 400, people? Please, can we move that to 400? Let's keep that one moving, people. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, not all 446 of you watching this right now have actually hit that like button. So I know some of you are lying. Make sure you hit the sub button as well. We've gone up to 329 as well. So a lot of you are feeling guilty, I take it. Also, people, once again, please make sure you check out the pinned message, Champions League business. I should have done a live stream yesterday, but it is what it is. You know, we're gonna do that. Admittedly, I actually want to watch Seville versus Dortmund, but I guess more of you are gonna be watching Porto versus Juventus, so we'll do up that game. Quick little disclaimers all the time. It's all entertainment. It's all entertainment. Disclaimer things, man. Fair play. Why is it? Oh, what's going on? It's not letting me scroll down anymore, people. What the hell? Can't even see you lot's questions. You having Hennessy with the game, DG there, and he's up there, he's chatting to me. Maybe, but the rare Nef's giving me the dirty look saying, what do you think you're doing? So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Don't worry, AM, man. Don't worry, AM. It is what it is, man. Do you know how many live streams you've been a part of? You know, you're about to be swat this card, man. Would love to hear you speak with Balogun. I tried that one still when I was doing all the Arsenal. There's a couple Arsenal ones that maybe like Arsene Wenger, I'll reveal one day. But there was like in the same way, there was some channels that I was supposed to go onto and platforms, and I got shagged. There's been some player interviews I've got shagged from, some big player interviews. You know, you would have probably looked around and said, "DG, how did you get that?" And I'd be like, "I don't even know myself." But it's been a shag in it. This life, man. You know, sometimes it's been crazy, man. It's like you get disheartened if you take it personally. Like there's been times I've planned the interview, I've done it with the guy. It's not even the player's fault, you know. We've done it. It's gonna get uploaded. I'm ready. Nah, you can't bring it out. Boom, 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 boom. Cams is my guy still. Big up culture Cams, and you know he's Hollywood. You see, they're in Rio and them, man. That's my guy. All them stoppage TV guys are my guys, man. They're doing work. They're doing great work. Apologies. Big up them. Nah, it weren't Saka still. It weren't Saka still. It weren't Saka still. Would love to interview Saka, but it weren't Saka still. There's been a couple Chelsea, big name Chelsea ballers as well, still as well. Man said, come on, man. Someone get this man a side of French fries and a Coke. I appreciate that, man. Man is saying, whatever game you want to watch, be cool. I appreciate that, Raz. Dortmund is the game to go, bro. You know, I'm going to record that, and that's the one that I'm going to watch just on my own thing, man. You need to collaborate with Turkish. Bro, Turkish, we're going to get that going. Don't worry, man. Turkish is my guy, and Turkish is going through, he's not going through a madness in it, but he's got things, he's doing things. He's a busy man. He's got a job like everyone else. He's got his own YouTube channel. He's got his own commitments. Obviously, he's got some things going on in his personal life, rather positively, not negative, but you know, he's only one man and he's pulled from pillar to post. We'll pattern something, man. Don't worry. We'll get something going consistently again. Come on, we've got you. I'd love to see you talk with Tom from Gooner Talk. Why not, man? Shout out Tom still. Shout out Tom. Tom, I think I've done something with Tom. I think he blocked me by accident one time, and I blocked him, and then he told me the app he's using it got hacked, and I was like, oh, this is a bit awkward, isn't it? He's a cool guy. I thought, why'd you block me? Sort of thing. Big up Harry. Harry's a certified one as well. Still, big up Harry. You know, Harry, my door's always open to Harry, and when Harry's plate is a little less full, I have no doubt I'll be on his thing, man. Jam Rocker said, "What's the one question you'd pose to Arteta ahead of Benfica?" You've put me on my toes, really, but what's the one question I would ask? Be good question, my guy, man. Let me think for a sec. Good question, still. Probably first one would be, what's the outlook on your season if you win? What's the outlook if you lose? How have you been preparing? Stuff like that, really and truly. You know, you really put me on the spot. Yeah, just that, really and truly. What do you think make of Benfica? You know, what's the first couple of thoughts that go through your head when you think of Benfica? Big up them, man, there as well. Faces on thumbnails gets views, no caps. We're gonna do that, man. We're gonna do that, man. I'm trying to think, like you can see, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'd like to think I've developed quite a lot in the last week. So if you let me just keep developing, keep giving me constructive criticism, you're gonna, you know me. I try a lot, you know. Would you ever do a calling like Hugh? I would, you know, but I need to probably speak with Hugh and see how that one there could be patterned, because I don't know how Hugh does it, but he makes it. I don't know how he does it, but it seems like when I watch you've got no one calling and doing the madness and saying, you know how it is, people. Someone got me last time with the I swallow thing, so I don't want to be wrapped up in them sort of things there again. You know, if you can go guard against that, is a problem. And Jaden, they would, after them questions there, they're going to say, no, this brother can't ask no interviews again. Big up David all the way from Brazil. You have said, what do you think about signing Ceballos? Scroll back, my guy, because we've touched on that, but I wouldn't be for it necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily be against it, man. That's probably what I need to do, you know, just take a bunch of pictures like, and just use them as the overlays and stuff like that, man. Oh, soon land, man. Soon land. Once again, Harry's my guy. After one win, after one win over Gunho Leeds, we've been packed this year. Fans running out Lacazette and Pepe. Okay. My whiskey is talking to me. Hey, you're a dangerous shoot, you know. You're a dangerous guy to be drinking whiskey. People that drink whiskeys, you're on a madman thing. That drink there mashes you up still. Big up Peter, and I respect everyone, but Peter's got no relevance to this channel in the sense of, you know, he supports Liverpool. So I appreciate that somehow, you know, an Irish Liverpool fan has found out about this young 25-year-old man over in London through our love of football. So Peter Dalton, love for that, my guy. Love for that. Big up yourself. And all the Irish tugs out there as well, man. It's weird, but I just, you know, I've always got positive memories with people that are from Ireland. I find them very, very cool to be around. And it's the same way I've said it before. I don't know if this makes sense because I'm from south of England. I'm from London, but I just find in relation to people outside of London, people that have them up north accents and the Northerners, I find them the most honest, man. It's a tough one, and it's one of them I think only Arteta can ask, because again, us as fans, we're only seeing it as, boy, he played 90 minutes with a game in such and such days, he can't play. Where it also goes in the case of I said it before. The playing is one thing. It's how you manage your workload in the week. It's like sometimes some players have to do recovery sessions when you're playing for the whole team. Do you get it? You're doing the whole training session. Do you get it? Some guys have a heavier hot load of training, sort of training schedule at the start of the week, and it gets lower as relation to the game. And some man do the vice versa thing. So as long as we're collaborating properly in that regard, for me, we have to. Of course, there'll probably be some small rotations. And when I mean small rotations, you might do something like, let's say, Lacazette and Aubameyang start against Benfica. So against City, I might take Lacazette out, Aubameyang through the middle, and Martinelli comes in. Do you get it? Rotation along that standard. You know, it's ironic how, again, coming into a game against Man City, we might have to rotate again and again, you know. So that would be it for me. Come on. 4th Street. Yeah, I have, man. That's Clive's one, innit? You lot have been on to me to get Clive on this show. I've been DMing and DMing and DMing and DMing. You lot need to go and abuse his socials as well. You know, I listen, there's a lot of things I don't do for you lot, like in terms of harassing people, but I put my own pride to the side for you guys. So yeah, man. Hit up that one there, and if you want it to happen, it's as simple as that, man. You know, for me, Pepe does deserve to start, Jack. 100%, my brother. 100%. Get a couple more questions in, people. You know, I've got to relax for a bit until the live stream later. Have a feeling Mikel will rotate tomorrow. Well, if he throws in Pepe and Laka, technically that's rotation. So I wouldn't mind it. Jack, your comments gone. What have you said? Oh, you've said that already. Big up the Irish. Big up you as well. I didn't see your part about also being Irish. We've got Tunisia Dons in the building as well. You lot are moving heavy, but I can't even see some of the messages. I'd like to see you collab with Tom from the Gooner Talk. There'd be some amazing points made, I'm sure. Big up DG from Tunisia. Once again, that thing there can get done. Elliot. Okay, big up Elliot. You know, listen, I always ask you lot on my community tab who to reach out to and all of these sort of things. So, you know, I haven't heard of Elliot, with all respect. So he's someone I'll try a thing for you lot, man. I like Cantwell, but there's no way in earth I'd rather have Cantwell over Odegaard, and definitely not ours. So that one there is that. Danny said, I'll prioritize Benfica over City, but our weaker team can still be enough to put in a performance against City. It all depends about the rotation being done. You know, if you take out a David Luiz, you put in a Holding, these sort of things, there shouldn't be too much of a drop-off. It's when you're doing things like Leno playing one week, and I'm being a bit unfair, and there is Matt Ryan, but then Runnelson's playing the next week. And not only are you changing the goalkeeper, a right back is now playing left back. You're just messing up the thing. Different sort of midfield. So how can we still play to the same precision sort of thing? That's what it is for me personally. It all depends who is being rotated and what duration of rotation. Like, the only thing I feel comfortable about rotating is really our attackers, really. I don't really like playing around with our defense. I don't really like playing around with our midfield as much as we can. You know, not that we have much choice. Rowan has said, why is Willian getting more game time than Gabriel and Pepe? I wish I could answer you that. You know, I would love Martinelli to start. He deserves to start. You know, I'll put, love for putting me on to Elliot. I'll write that down. And, if you look got Elliot's socials, comment them, please, because, that's the easiest bit to go around. And obviously abuse his socials and say, yo, let's get this one done. Big up Moise Keane. Football is a funny old game of opinions, my guy. You know, you go from getting subbed on and off against United at Old Trafford to mashing up Barcelona. Big up Kylian Mbappe. What a performance. You know, the dribbling, the trickeries, the sleight of movements, the fucking finish for the third goal. My word. Verratti baller, Paredes baller. You know, bare man of ballers. You know, Sergio Dest got stressed out in that game. There's no shame in that. Anyone gets stressed against Kylian Mbappe, but it was a good game still. Very good game. You know, Messi scored. Dembele should have scored. There was some good intricate plays early on from both teams. And then it just like PSG. PSG were probably the better, but there was a time where it was PSG were the better, but Barca weren't out of it. And it just went down the toilet, you know. Just went down the toilet. Hopefully there's some exciting stuff in the Champions League this year. Apologies, people, because I'm obviously doing the live stream. So make sure you check out the pinned message, people. Cantwell would be calm for the squad, but I wouldn't, like I said to answer the other question, I wouldn't take him over Auer and the other guy, man. Would love to see you in Arsenal Vision podcast. You know, I'm of the belief where if you just do your job, you work hard, things happen for you. And I'm never going to be, with all due respect to them, I would go on it, but I'm never going to just DM people and say, let me come on your team, let me come on your team, let me come on your team. Because if you're levels, people will call for you. Do you get it? Bro, Defo showed Henry vibes. People were saying Mbappe was this and that. How dare you? See what he's on yesterday. You see what he's on. Big up Mohammed. What have you said, Mohammed Abdi? Big up yourself. Seeing you do big things out of Edmonton shows a lot of people there can do it too. Much love. I appreciate that. 4th Street to the world and back. Saka is for me and he always will be. I love Dembele, man. Allow him. Griezmann, bro. I don't know what Griezmann was his for I don't know what Griezmann was on part for large periods of that game. I like Griezmann. I always felt he's overrated. Marco Stone, would you sign Ceballos? Brother, who wouldn't sign Ceballos? So he's one of these players. I wouldn't say, what's that word? I can never pronounce it. Is it aesthetically pleasing? One of you smart people with degrees tell me if that's the right word, but he's not necessarily mad pleasing to watch, but can play a couple of roles, consistent, decent age, a year left, so there might be a little deal there, a bit of adaptability, experience. They're the sort of, I wouldn't say it's a shrewd addition because everybody knows who he is, but Marco, you're right, man. They're the sort of signings there. As much as I want players that, you know, get you excited, not that there's anything wrong with Ceballos, them sort of signings there, I'm on it. I'm really on it, man. Has he got it? If he's got it confirmed, then all, you know, I'm cheering on Henry, but I think he'll struggle. Thanks for that, man. What? All right, my guy. Shout out you. Done, no? Foden, but you know I have to be biased and say Saka. Love your attitude, man. Honestly, seem like such a humble guy. Big up, man. You know, humble it, bro. Humble yourself before life humbles you, innit? Like, that's how I am. Humble dude, man. I don't need to pretend and be something, man. To be fair, that league's just a stitch up, man. You're seeing guys going from Gladbach to Dortmund. The managers now, it's just a stitch up, man. It's just a stitch up, man. I don't think we've missed a trick. I would love to see a couple of legends, but I just don't want a legend to come back for the sake of it. You know, I would like them man to be around, but you get the point. It wouldn't be good. I wouldn't mind that. Bro, fuck AFC Edmund. They kicked me out, man. That team's shit. Shout out to the players that played for them, though. Imagine kicking man out for wanting to be a winner. Anyways, dead that team. But shout out to the teammates, though. Is what it is. Why is your name Deluded? You're a realist. Depends on who you ask, man. Depends on who you ask. Really and truly, a lot of people say, I don't know why your name's Deluded, mate. You know your stuff. And some other people say, mate, I fucking see why your name's Deluded. Pardon my language. So yeah, man, I guess the only thing I learned from that is just have balance in life, my guy. And either way, I wish I had £1 for each one, man. Would you ever join True Geordie's kickoff? Why not? But it would be lovely to go on it, you know. It'd be lovely to go on. I was supposed to. Remember, I told you lot. I was meant to go on it one time, and then certain things happened via my old boss and them thing there. But we keep moving. Big up the Australians in there. I didn't think that was Australian, but fair play. What else have we got? Maybe, you know, if he needs to show something, really. I love Henry and Thierry Henry, but right now, I mean, I love Thierry Henry and Vieira, but right now they're not levels, man, at all. Bro, they rubbed the man out, man. Little drill, couple things happen in it, certain things happen in it, like just, you know, certain, you know, people that haven't managed before trying to manage, and people that ain't been sporting directors or even played Sunday League trying to do sporting director thing. certain people who need to stick to effing admin, not doing that, you know, man, just not understanding it. And when you got people who don't have much going on in their life, when you have people who are not used to power, and you have people that take things a bit too seriously than it should be, it's a recipe for disaster. But shout out to the players. You know, I want the best for the team, for the players, man. What boots did I wear? I was a vapors, man, still when I could. Oh, come on, bro. About any of you lot, if you lot still subscribe to them, unsubscribe to me, because the way they did it, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. I don't know. From what I see, I could say tactically because it didn't work out for him at Monaco, but it just seems like Henry is the same way he's very demanding on his teammates, he's very demanding on the players, and that can work. But also, you know, at a day and age where players, you know, you got to be very nice to players. It gets crazy, man. Oziled off, bro. Oziled off, man. Oziled off, bro. Maybe I should tell you a lot, man. But I basically got fired on my day off. I was serving a ban and set a things up, man. Trust. I would love to, but like reaching out, sorry, to them is easier said than done, man. So yeah, my guy, like he said, AFC Edmonton slander, big it up, man, each and every time. Clearly hit up the manager's girl, not even hit up the manager. Like, nah, man, fuck that, man. The less the better. This is why I'm wrapping this up now, man. I don't want to speak like they could do what they need to do. I don't need to speak about them or anything, man. Last question, what we said. Based on what you've seen, where do you see Arteta's ceiling? Do you eventually see him being as good as Pep? Right now, I can't say I can see that. I can't predict that because I can't see that far in front. I'm not too sure. I don't think I've learned too much about Arteta to really draw a conclusion. Really, I see some. I don't know, man. I don't know. Why not, man? Why not? Trust me, how you get fired on your day off? How you serving a match ban, a self-imposed ban, and get fired? It's quite a good story, but it's a bad story, but it is where it is, man. Sometimes I look back and I think, was it worth it? And I'm like, hell yeah, man. Maybe it wasn't because I'm not in the team anymore, but hell yeah, it was, man. It's fully worth it. And if you're listening, I do it all again, bro. Do it all again. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, though. There's 415 of you locked in. We're on 382 likes. We're so close, but yet so far. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. I'm not going to lie, though. I've been here for a long time, though. Check out the pinned message. I'll be back later. You know, we'll be watching the Barcelona. Man said Barcelona. That's yesterday. We'll be watching the Juventus versus Porto, the FC Porto versus Juventus game. Even if you can't watch it, please make sure you just open up another tab and hit a like, man. Every like does the best for it, man. So it is what it is in that regard. Yes, I have read 48 Laws of Power, you know, just to answer that question before I cat out as well. Is what it is. I appreciate all of you lot, man. I appreciate all of you lot, bro. Without you lot, you know, there's been 400, 500 odd people here. Without you lot being here, there's no point. I don't want to talk to myself and be a waste, man. So I appreciate you guys, man, and all your support. On that note, though, I'll catch you lot in a bit. People, deluded. I'm out. Stay safe.